Well, it shouldn't be because
It shouldn't be, but
you
it
let
is.
the other one. Wow.
All right, what's up, everybody? This is the first episode of the Resolve podcast. This is just going to be a brief introduction to get the ball rolling with these. We're going to try to keep them on a regular cadence, hopefully have some guests along the way. My name is Blake.
My name is Deb.
And we are the founders of Resolve Nutrition Training. If you don't already know that, this kind of all organically happened. We've been in business now about 2 months, and we're very pleased with how things are going. We have a very broad clientele at the moment, which is very encouraging, all the way from teen athletes up to clients in their mid to late 60s. Some are athletes, some are just trying to get in shape. Some is just, looking for something new and trying to find their fitness journey. So it's very fun working with all different walks of life. Just a brief background on myself, if you don't already know anything about me. I got into CrossFit around 2017, 2018. Spent the last 5 years, I guess that would be, training, coaching, and just following my passion and making it my career. I've segued out of more personal endeavors and putting more energy into clients at Resolve and just growing myself now as a business owner rather than as an athlete. So, just a little bit about that. Deb, what do you want to share with yourself?
Well, I remember when you walked into
Of course you
the
do.
gym. Because I'd been working there for a long time. I think since 2013 or 14. And I got into nutrition a few years into working there and started with Primal Health Coaching. And I love that. But as people go through life, they change the way they look at different things, and my nutrition changed. I went up and down. I went to paleo, I went to zone, Whole30, all these different things that I think brought me to where I am today.
And where is that? Where are you today?
I'm very understanding that there is no one way to work with a client. Everyone's got different needs and different goals, and every body is different, literally. And it's good to know that when you tried so many different things, you have a little bit of insight into each area. And I think that's what helps us as coaches.
Yeah, being well-rounded, being broad in your approach. What are you enjoying about running a business?
I love my mornings. I love
Let's
setting
hear
my
about it.
schedule.
What is your morning?
I get up 5:15 or so, and I get immediately into the cold plunge, 40 degrees, and it's great. And I know a lot of people think it's insanity, but I read that it helps with your mood, and I've thought, okay, we have one, and I should use it. And I love it. It's really been a game changer for me.
Okay, what else? That's just the morning routine? Just in the cold plunge?
No.
For how long?
5 minutes, 40 degrees, and then 5 minutes, or actually 10 minutes in front of a red light, which is another thing that we're kind of...
What is this big monstrosity that is behind us?
A sauna, clear light sauna.
I don't have a morning routine. I wake up and I have to take a wild feral Rottweiler out to take a poop. That's my morning routine to get ready for the day.
She's cute, though.
Yeah,
It's
she's
fun.
all right. So you wake up, cold plunge, red light, sauna.
I don't sauna in the morning. I sauna in the...
Why don't we sauna in the morning?
You're supposed to end on cold, so I'm not going to get up and do the sauna and then do the cold plunge. I'm going to end on cold, so...
All right, so while we're on this, do you actually notice the benefits of all these ridiculous things that you're doing?
Yes, I do. I think they're all great, and I've read a lot about them, and I have other people that I've talked to about them too, and I do feel like, especially when you get out of the cold plunge, that there's a dopamine effect that is... I feel it happening, and it's been very powerful for me and very restorative, I want to say, mentally. I just have felt really better in the mornings. I don't know now than probably a couple months ago. I was rushing in the morning and trying to get out of the house, and now I'm taking my time a little more.
All right. And what other ridiculous routines are you into right now?
I mean, I'm just eating well, exercising a lot. I mean, whenever I can, but I'm getting over shoulder surgery, so I'm almost there where I'll be able to pick up a barbell and put more weight overhead. I can put a little bit over now. But I feel like that's been, even the things that I do in the morning also have helped me heal from that quicker. And then eating well and moving a lot has definitely helped.
All right. And what else are you enjoying about running your own business? Do you ever think you'd see yourself here?
No. At first, it was terrifying, and I was glad I wasn't in it alone. But
you're welcome.
But now it feels it's exciting. And I think, knowing that choices we make and things that we do, everything is on us, feels very different than like trying to make something else work that really wasn't mine, or that, I've always been that way. I wanted to make whatever I was involved in better. But now, knowing this is in my hands, this is in your hands, it's intimidating, but it's also a little exhilarating when it goes well. And it's been going really well.
Yeah, I think so as well. What has been the hardest part about it, other than dealing with me? Every day, all day.
That was going to be my answer, 100%. No.
I know, I'm a difficult personality to work with, I've been told.
What else has been difficult? Was that the question?
What has been difficult that you didn't expect with running a business?
It's been challenging because I have to really use my time wisely, because I'm also in classes, and that makes it, I'm a little bit type A, where I want to get really good grades, and I know C's get degrees, but I'm not that person.
Hell yeah.
So I want to do really well there too. And I think sometimes when you spread yourself too thin and you have you want to do well here, 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 and here, something ends up giving. And so far nothing has, but I could see it being a real challenge. I have to be very disciplined about my time. But you're good about that. You're like a list maker, and you also tell me what needs to be done, which is very, very helpful.
Yeah, but I break my own list all the time. Or I don't cross all my tasks off on my list.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, enjoying the amount of flexibility and free time, that's got to be the best thing.
Is there something you don't like about it?
Or carrying you.
He jokes that I'm on his coattails because I have classes.
That is a joke.
Other responsibilities.
I don't actually believe that.
Okay, good.
No, I mean, enjoying the free time flexibility. Of course, the goal is to actually get something concrete, brick and mortar. It's not the easiest, but a part of me is kind of dreading the day that actually happens, because then I know all my free time will be out the door. And now it's running two businesses and not one, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But the whole remote coaching thing is pretty fun, I would say. It's definitely different. One thing that you realize segueing to this versus in person is how much more time you actually have for yourself and for, just taking care of yourself. Like I had a dentist appointment. I would have never, booked that. I would have just pushed it back because I couldn't take off or I didn't have time. So, the flexibility and free time is great. It's just making sure that you hold yourself accountable and, you actually get done the things you have to get done. But other than that, it's been easy street.
Do you want to talk about why you had to go to the dentist?
Not really. I bit into a date and chipped my tooth on the pit, and it cracked. My front one.
Front tooth.
Not good. So I had to get that fixed. I couldn't.
Wasn't a good look.
No, not a good look for me. Snaggletooth was not what I was going for. All right. So, I think right now we're recording on, what is it, May 25th. So we're coming up to Memorial Day weekend. A lot of people stress out about the holidays with different nutritional things. If you had to give some advice about how to advise people to not fall into a trap nutritionally and keep habits in check, what would you say?
So if you're going to, let's say, a barbecue, since that's so popular on Memorial Day, grilled meat, great, go for it. But I'd say stay away from the chips and all the dips and things like that. I mean, my philosophy is I want people to enjoy life when they eat, but to make really solid choices. So let's say your friend brings cookies and says to you, I made these from scratch and they're the most amazing recipe handed down from generation to generation and they're the best cookies you'll ever have. I'm going to have a cookie. But on the other hand, if somebody else comes and is like, hey, I brought these Entenmann's cookies, here you go. No, I'm not going to have an Entenmann's cookie because I can have them anytime. And also they're not great. They're not worth it. So I would just say to make choices that are worth it. That if you're going to put something, you're going to have some ice cream or you're going to have something, just make one, maybe two things that are really, really delicious that you really, really enjoy and do that. But then get right back into the swing of things as soon as possible with eating, on point.
So I agree with you with that last part. Get right back on track on that Tuesday or after the weekend is over. But I actually have a slightly different approach than you on this one.
I know you do.
And everybody's going to say that I'm usually the hard ass and that I'm the drill sergeant when it comes to keeping things in check. But this is one time that I'm going to be pretty neutral and I'm going to say it's one day, maybe 2 days. It doesn't matter how much you overeat. You are not going to gain 3, 4, 5 pounds in one day. Weight gain doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen just from one day of overeating. It happens when we consistently add 300, 500, 600 calories daily to our diet that we are going to then start to pack on the pounds. So, if you eat clean up until the barbecue on Monday, or you eat well and you're active, and then Monday you want to let your hair down, which I may do that, and, just pick the pieces back up on Tuesday and you'll probably be all right. I mean, you got to account for bloat, water retention, things like that. But that's not real weight. That's not realized weight gain. That's just an influx in your water levels.
So you're saying go buck wild.
It's the all or nothing in me, right? No, I'm not saying go buck wild, but I'm saying if you want the bun on the cheeseburger, go ahead and have it. If you want to have a couple beers, go ahead and have it. If you want to eat dessert, just do it, because you're going to think about it all week, how you didn't have this and you didn't have that. And when is the next chance that you're going to get to eat that again? And then you spiral from there. And then before you know it, you're door dashing everything that you didn't eat on Memorial Day by yourself on the couch with a bottle of Basil Hayden crying. And we want to avoid that, right?
Sounds familiar.
That's something that I've tried to work on, is living in the gray, especially because I'm a very all or nothing personality. But living in the gray is somewhat cool. I'm told I should do that more. So I'm trying to live in the gray. But, that's the problem. It can't be restrict, and then go crazy. We're trying to avoid that. So I would say, some say the 90-10. I would say it's even more like the 80-20 rule. Be pretty dialed in, pretty solid 80% of the time.
Here's the thing, though.
All right, let me hear the thing.
So there are some people that would like to do 80-20 or 90-10, but they can't just have one scoop of ice cream. They have
Are you
to
speaking
have
about yourself right now?
Not sometimes. It depends what it is. If it's Oreos, yeah, probably. But it's very, very difficult for some people to limit themselves. So when I have said to a client, go ahead, you can have a slice of pizza, you've earned it. They're like, I don't know if I can have just one. And then I realize that's totally true. Knowing this person, it's very difficult for them to stop. So in that case, I get nervous about saying, go have a little bit, because I know they won't, because that's the way they are.
Right. And also those foods aren't designed to just have one and stop. A bag of chips is not designed to eat a chip and then put it down, or
like one slice of pizza. Come on.
Or a package of Oreos. You're not going to just pick up one Oreo and call it a day. Yeah. You're going to probably eat a sleeve, because those foods are designed like that to keep you going back for more.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, but in all seriousness, if you were looking for, some tips, I would say one thing that we just did a newsletter on and a blog post about is protein leveraging leading up, and throughout the day. And even when you're there, make sure you're prioritizing the proteins on your plate first. So grab the burger, grab the barbecue chicken, whatever it may be, fill up, get satiated with protein, and then you can navigate to the macaroni salad and the potato salad and all that stuff, because you won't be as hungry. You're only going to be able to fit so much in, because hopefully, you're satiated from all that good protein that you ate. So that's probably, that's the life hack in general, I would say, is filling up on lean protein before going into situations where you don't have a lot of control over, what is going to be served, or if you want to enjoy a little bit and indulge.
Plus, another thing is, when we go somewhere, most of us know it's polite to say, "What can I bring?"
Myself.
Sometimes I hear from people, they'll say, "Whatever you'd like to bring, we could use it." I always try to bring something that I know is good for me to eat. So there might not be anything healthy there, but I know I'm bringing, the vegetable tray, or like a side or a salad that I know is solid. So I feel like it's better for me to do that than to just bring like a cheesecake or something. Like or fruit salad is a good thing to bring, because sometimes there's no good options, but at least if you were bringing something, bring one. So there is one.
Right. Don't contribute to the problem. Don't be like me and contribute to the problem. Be like Deb. Another thing for those of you who enjoy drinking, probably stay away from beer, especially if you like those fancy IPAs, because sometimes they have 70, 80, 90 grams of carbohydrate per beer. And I don't know about you, I do enjoy those, but I would rather eat my carbs than drink my carbs. So, stick with clears. Any mixers that you do a seltzer or something that is low calorie. Yeah. I am not a fan of soda, but you would be better off with a diet soda with no calories if you have to mix something. Hey, chemical, yes. Calories, no. It's just a thought.
No. So if you want to be able to function the next day, because we all know that let me just say for myself, if I
make sure you drink your Element. It's a plug for Element. We're not even sponsored by them, but drink Element.
If I have sugar and I have alcohol, the next day I am miserable, and I also eat bad the next day. So it's not just that I'm wrecking myself that day. I'm wrecking myself the next day as well, because I just feel miserable. So I would definitely say, if you're going to have a drink, make it something without sugar. Put seltzer, with tequila or something like that.
Didn't I just say that?
Kind of. But you said soda.
I said diet. 0 calorie. Coke Zero got no sugar in it. It just has all the good chemicals in it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Look, I'm not saying we're talking about alcohol. Alcohol is not good for you. So if we're looking about what to mix it with, it doesn't. I don't have that issue. I just drink it straight. Just man or woman up and just drink it straight. You won't have that problem. Unless you're a wine or beer drinker, then you might have some trouble.
Yeah, it's a lot of beer on Memorial Day, I feel like.
Yeah, beer is the drink of choice on Memorial Day.
They also, fun fact, we met a fireman once, a friend of ours actually, and he said that that's the worst, Memorial Day is the worst day for like exploding gas grills and things, because people are incapacitated and are not thinking and are doing things wrong, and it's dangerous.
Worse than 4th of July?
Yes,
we got fireworks in
that's what he said. Oh.
Ooh.
He didn't say anything about that. I think we were just talking about grills. I think I
Okay.
wanted to know, is it possible to light the grill or light the gas tank and explode? And he said only Memorial Day. I don't know.
All right. That's an interesting thought.
Be careful. Just be careful. That's all.
Yeah. Don't drink and grill is the moral of the story. So, just to wrap that topic up, protein leverage, eat lean, clean proteins before going and even during, and then have that treat that you want to treat after you've already satiated yourself. Probably stay away from the beer, stick with the clears, and then just get back on track on Tuesday. That's all you need to do, and that won't derail your progress. One night out, even if that's a weekly or bi-weekly thing, will not cause weight gain. It may slow your progress, but it will not ruin you, especially if you have good habits, because that's what everything's about, is habits. And like Deb's morning ritual, I would say it's more about the discipline of keeping those habits that is beneficial to her lifestyle than the cold plunge and the sauna and the red light. I mean, does it move the needle? Maybe. But is it the discipline and the habit of doing all of that it's a domino effect of, all right, well, if you've done 5 minutes in the cold plunge to start your day, everything is theoretically easier from there on out. Can't get much worse than that.
No, it's horrible. I don't wake up and think, I can't wait to get in the cold plunge. I think, I got to get in the cold plunge. And even days when I think, I wake up and the first thing I think is, I'm taking this morning off. Inevitably, I end up going in because I get down on myself for not. I'm like, come on, just get in the cold water. It's good for you. But you made a good point the other day when you said it doesn't matter how many little biohacking and things that you do if you're living in a certain way, eating a certain way, staying up late, and doing disservice to yourself in all other health areas. None of that's really going to matter.
Right.
It's not going to.
I think people get too caught up in the minutia of it all and are just looking at like what they think is the next quick fix to change their lifestyle. Where, let me buy a $5,000 sauna. I'm not saying this is you, and that's going to change my life around. But if your eating and sleeping is garbage, well, you can sit in that sauna all you want. You're not going to change your body composition or your health or anything like that. Or the individual that doesn't have the discipline to go to the gym, but I don't know, they pay for an expensive membership to a gym that they're never going to go to. And they'll be like, oh yeah, next Monday I'll start. Well, you gotta get going. You gotta find a habit.
Yeah.
I mean, start small. I would say that just like the people who say, I'm gonna do a 5K a day. No,
Yeah.
Maybe you should accumulate 5K in a week to start out. Maybe even half of that is walking, not even running.
Right.
And then always add as you go. I think that's the problem. We all try to bite off more than we can chew right away because we're motivated, but we don't have that discipline. And then when the going gets tough and it starts to hurt and it starts to feel like a chore, we break down. Where if you just say you're going to do this one time a week, you can probably commit to that because you have 7 days to figure out what day you're going to do that.
That's very good advice because we all want to jump completely in. And like Haley likes to get into the cold plunge only halfway in.
Haley is her daughter.
I think you should get all the way in, right up to your neck. I tried to convince her, but she wouldn't do it. So I think it's sometimes there's easing into things is a good thing, though.
Yeah, I mean, you're setting yourself up for success. Isn't that what this is all about? Is being successful and building habits and having a lifestyle change. We don't want to look at things like calling it a diet or I hate all these gimmicky challenges that gyms run. I think they're actually the worst thing ever. And I actually spoke about this with a client of mine maybe a week or two ago where he works at a boot camp gym and they did some kind of challenge and they were giving away actual money to the winner. And he told me the individual that won it lost a bunch of weight. And then when the challenge was over, a few months later, he saw her again and she gained all her weight back. Now, I don't know the individual and I don't know what happened, but that's usually how it goes because we put an end date on something. So we say, all right, this is a 30-day challenge. Day 30 comes. Okay, well, day 31, I don't have to do it anymore because I completed the challenge. So that's not truly a lifestyle change. That is something that is going to ultimately fail you. And that's why it shouldn't be called a diet either. Diets come with end dates.
Yeah. I've done many of those 30-day things, and I couldn't wait till day 31 to go crazy. And it's hard, like, to get yourself to keep those habits, and or at least take away from it that changes your health in a positive forward momentum. But I find that the restrictions are very, very difficult for people, and they just end up really thrown in the towel, like you said, completely. So it's better to have a sustainable plan.
Other than the habits that we've already mentioned, what do you feel are some of the best habits that you have that have made substantial changes to your life?
I mean, sometimes one of the things that I try to do when I realize that something I'm doing is not healthy for me is I try to replace it with something that is healthy. So, I can give an example of someone else who, a client I had who every night said she had to drink 1 glass of wine before bed, and it helped her sleep. She insisted it helped her sleep. Even
That's a lie.
Alcohol does not help you sleep.
You hear that? It does not help you sleep.
She said, okay, even if it's not helping me sleep, I wind down, and it's just good for me.
No pun intended.
Yeah, right. So I asked her to work on replacing that, and my suggestion was like a cup of tea. And she was like, oh. And I said, how about we go to a really nice tea place? Because once in a while there's just places with the loose tea and stuff. And she picked out a very expensive one and treated it like a very, exotic type of nighttime ritual then. And it actually, subbing that one thing out led to so many other positive changes for her. And I always think there is something you can sub, Another client had a Starbucks, I don't know, what is it, mochaccino or something like that she would order in the morning, a Trenta one, which is the largest size. And she's like, but I sip it all during the day. But the fact was, we looked up the calories, and it was a ridiculous amount of sugar and calories. So I said, okay, how are we going to change this? We have to do something. So because she couldn't do without it, she started getting a smaller size, for a little bit. And then she worked on not having sugar, like a less sugar dialed back, like 2 pumps instead of 4 or 5, that kind of thing. And then when she finally did go to black coffee, which was insane that she finally was able to do it. I was so proud of her. It had completely changed her morning. It changed like her afternoon because she didn't have this slump that just came over her, which I feel like was due to the sugar rush that she had all the time from it, the drink. So anyway, I just think that taking something that you're doing that's not smart and that that's not healthy for you, that's detrimental in some way to your health, switching that with something that is better always moves the needle. It always helps and gets you in a better version of yourself, I feel.
But that's hard, and I don't want to do that. What do you say to those people?
Yeah, I have a friend that always says, I know what to do. I know how to eat. I know that I shouldn't drink. I know these things. It's just a matter of, do you want it more than you want those other things? I mean, how bad do you want it?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing I see with a lot of people. I think a lot of individuals, and hey, I've even been there myself, are in love with the idea of doing something, or in love with the idea of making a drastic change nutritionally, or weight loss, or body composition, or competing in something new, but they don't actually love the process of it. And that's what it's all about, is falling in love with the process of what you're doing and knowing that it's not going to feel good right now, but down the road, you are going to feel better about what you did. The easy road is the instant gratification that goes away quick. You can go to the mall and spend $200 and feel good for a couple minutes, and then you feel awful about it later. But, you know, you don't, when you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into something, and that doesn't even have to be athletics or health, and then you get the reward you're looking for, that is the kind of gratification that you really thrive on. That, you know, it can't be bought, it can't be found, you have to earn it. And I think that goes a lot further than the easy road, essentially.
It really feels amazing when you work hard at something and then you have this end result of, you know, sleeping better, eating better, feeling better, looking, you know, better in your clothes, or fitting into something you haven't fit into for a long time or ever. I mean, that to me, I've seen people make those changes and get into that, meet that goal. And it's just incredible at the feeling that they have. It's so much better than anything that they could have thought was going to replace that feeling, like eating something or drinking or doing something that's detrimental. Like I said, it's just a great when they're able to meet that and be proud of themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, this was just a quick introduction. We're going to try to keep these going. Like I said, hopefully we can get some guests on here. We have some ideas of people who we'd like to get. There's about 2 or 3 who are hopefully going to be lined up for it. And, you know, they're going to be from all different domains and backgrounds, all of course, within the world of fitness. But, you know, we'll see what we can dig up. We'll see what connections we can pull out of our sleeve for that. So if you're not already doing so, follow us on Instagram at resolve_nutrition_and_training. I know, not the best handle, but it's all that we had available. I'm Blake V94 on Instagram.
And I'm What's Deb Up To?
And then also our website is resolve-nutrition.com. That's where you can check out some information on there.
And subscribe so they can get the newsletter.
Oh, yeah. Subscribe. So you could do that on the website, or if you go and follow the Instagram, click the little link in bio, the link tree, you could subscribe there. That'll set you up with that. Just find us on one of the platforms, and that will lead you to whatever it is you need to do. Of course, once you're there, you can always reach out and ask any questions, anything that you'd like to hear discussed on the podcast, send some emails, some DMs, whatever works for you. And thank you for listening. And we look forward to doing this on a somewhat regular basis in the future, right?
Yes.
I'm going to have to hold you accountable for this. It's going to be a problem. All right. So I don't know when this is going to be released, but hopefully you had a enjoyable and healthy Memorial Day weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.